Hey there, friends. Welcome to 2023. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday season, and I am looking forward to a brand new year. If we haven't met before, my name is Lauren. On this channel, I show how my family produces and processes our own food. We try new things to try and get the most out of our property, out of our land. And most times we're turning trash into treasure to just try and get the job done. I enjoy the first few days of every new year. I get a little rest from the craziness of Christmas greens season. And the start of a new year means that seed starting is going to be starting soon. I know seed catalogs and orders are starting to roll in, and that's an exciting time. So I thought it was a good time to talk about seed starting and seed storage and how I plan out my seed starting schedule, really. I think it's something that can be kind of daunting for people because there is a bit of math involved. You do have to kind of lay out all your seeds and figure out what needs to be transplanted, what needs to be direct sown, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot of facts that you have to consider. So, if you've been following along, I am not high tech at all. So, my favorite tools to get my seed starting schedule under control are a pen and a paper wall calendar that hangs in my kitchen, and I look at it every single day, and it helps keep me in line. Now, besides those two items, my next most important things that I need are my frost dates. So for me in zone 6B, where I am and where I grow, my last expected frost is April 26th. My first expected fall frost is October 17th. For the purposes of this video, we are just going to focus on our last expected spring frost. Okay, so from there, I am counting back 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's say 2 weeks before last frost, I'm going to mark that. And then I'm going to count back all the way up to, 12 weeks before last frost. So I am going to go ahead and just mark those dates on my calendar. 4, 6, 8, 12 weeks before my last expected spring frost. Once I have those dates marked on my calendar, I can then go ahead and fill in what seeds need to be started during those time frames. This gives me a visual reminder of what I need to be doing. I kind of have these dates rolling around in my head, but let's be honest, who doesn't need an extra little reminder? Now, it's important to remember that frost dates are not absolutes. There's always a little bit of a fluctuation between predicted frost date and the actual frost date. So that is another thing that I always mark on my calendar too. The frost dates that you get for your zone or for your area, wherever you look them up, are historical averages. So you have to, when you're planning, those are the dates that we use because it's pretty close. But when you are getting ready to plant out, when those transplants are ready, you have to use your experience and your gut to know if you're safe. There's no guarantee that you are going to be absolutely safe from frost after April 26th. And I'll tell you, you're most likely not going to be if you pay attention to the weather in your area. Before we talk about seed storage and organization, it is time for our first local shout out of the year. Today's local shout out is going to be super useful to you if you hit a deer on your way home last night or you haven't been watching out for ice. Kohler Brothers Collision Repair and Refinishing. They are located in Northampton, Pennsylvania. They have been in business for over 50 years. And whether you have a busted door or a wonky front end, just call them and they will get you fixed up better than new. Truly. They've saved me on many occasions. Now, let's talk about seed storage and organization. There are probably a million different ways to catalog and store seeds. I'm just going to talk about what works for me currently. Oh, I totally forgot to tell you guys the most exciting news. So I've already received all of my seed orders for the year, and I had planned to do a kind of unboxing of my seed orders. Thought that would be fun. Forgot that I was going to do that. Opened my box anyway, and then the most exciting thing is I finally got some swag in my seed order. Got my first seed company hat, and I am very excited. Okay, I feel very official, and you know, this excitement is just going to carry me all the way through seed starting. Back to our objective. Seed storage. One popular method that I have seen around for a few years for storing seeds is the use of this photo box. So it comes with little containers like this that you would typically store photos in. And then there's, you know, they go in this container and they're very neat and orderly. Now, I bought this a couple of years ago thinking that I could get all of my seeds organized by type. I wanted to give each category its own space. It works, however, it would work better if you were only buying tiny, tiny packets of seeds. So you can see that, like, it's not going to work. We have outgrown our confines. So I still use these little containers whenever I can. But I've gone past this. Even though it doesn't 100% work for me, I still think it's a good system for somebody just starting out or home gardeners with, you know, smaller seed collections. As I've mentioned, I like to group like things together. So tomatoes, peppers, those different classifications. Pumpkins and winter squash, I will group by days to maturity. So pumpkins, I break up into 100 days, less than 100 days, more than 100 days. And that just helps me to kind of break up when I need to start those transplants. When I get closer to seeding time, I will also go through all my seeds and group by that time frame. So if something needs 4 weeks before transplant, I group those all together. 6 weeks, 8 weeks. So I can literally just go through my grouping of seeds and say, okay, where am I at? I'm 6 weeks before my last expected frost. This is the chunk of seeds that I need to start today. And then just keep going and going and going until you run out of weeks or run out of seeds. This video is basically just to give a very basic understanding of a seed sowing schedule timetable. But I do hope that it was helpful to kind of demystify that process that can get a little bit cumbersome if you are not used to doing it. I will be doing additional videos so you can follow along with me in my seed starting process. So don't forget to subscribe so you will be alerted to all of those things and we can sow together. And you can see just how I go from this to this. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope to see you next time on Hawn Acre.